Today on the workbench, we're going to continue on with our Athearn Genesis project here. This is the B unit. I just completed the A, and this one's going to get basically the same components in it. We're going to have a Nix Trains Decoder Buddy Tiny, because there are no lighting functions. I'm not going to put anything else in this. This is just getting sound. So we'll just use the Tiny, and I've got two speakers here from Scale Sound Systems, so we're going to be using that. And then here's the other one we'll put into it, and I'm not sure which order those go in yet, or which side they'll go on. I haven't opened this up. So we've got our two speakers, and then we're going to put a Tsunami decoder in this. So we might as well get moving. We'll get this thing apart. I believe, now this is, of course it's like the other one that I bought this off a fella, and it's for somebody that we're doing up here. So it does have a decoder in it already, but let's get this thing apart. Should just have to pry the sides, and it should, if I can get my fingernails up underneath of it. There we go. And one of the clips fell out, so we'll have to put that back in it when we get to it. But that's no big deal. Actually, I've already got it snapped back in, so I'm going to take and glue that back in while we're here, and that can dry. And I won't have to worry about that anymore. So there's that glued up, or back. I may have an extra set of those laying around someplace, but anyway, we'll set the body aside, pull this up in the frame, and whoever had this before, they used black tape. Please don't use black tape. You can see that that's shiny on that black tape. That's just gets to be a gooey mess. So, but they used black tape, it looks like, for everything. Let's see, what do we got here? Old TCS decoder. I'm just going to go through and cut my wires. Let's see, here's the other side. There's that. They do have all the wires stuffed in here nicely. There's the other pickup. More black tape. There's that. Now I've got these two for the motor. Okay, what have I got catching here? Nothing. Alright. And I can reuse those decoders for something that I don't want sound in. Normally I've got a bunch of cleaning cars, MNP cleaning cars that I like to use, and I use those decoders in them. More black tape. See, that's the other thing. If you don't get it on, it just falls off. So it looks like we'll have one that sits here, and then our other one will sit up here. So this should be a fairly straightforward project, and this thing is going to sound nice because the other one that we just finished up, the A unit, it sounds really good. So, and our Decoder Buddy will fit right in here. All right. I may have to lengthen my pickup wires. Yeah, one side of them I'm going to have to, because they were cut off so short. But the other thing I want to do, pull this up out. That's what I'm going to set the Decoder Buddy on. So I'll do like I did in the last one, and I'll cut these edges off. And those just launch into space there. I'm kind of holding my finger over top of it. Cut that. And I'm not trimming that one flush. I'll file that down. Yeah. That'll straighten that out. And then we'll get this side. Okay. Get out some alcohol here. That'll clean the oil off of that. Go ahead and clean some oil off of the Decoder Buddy, just to get it clean. Let that dry, and I'm going to go around the edges of the where those speakers mount, because I'll put some double-sided tape in there. Clean that off. Clean that off. And then we'll get out the double-sided tape. Put that right on. There's our tape. Cap back on my knife. And set that down on there. And I put it on there crooked. Yeah. Around here to where I can see it better. All right. So I'm going to pull this whole thing off. Make sure it's down on there fairly well. Alright, there's that. Now, while we've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and get the flux out. I'll have a track pickup, speakers, these two over here are the keep alive. Then I've got the motor. And then on this back side, the other two track pickups. So we'll go ahead, I'll zoom in on this, and we'll start our tinning and fluxing process, or fluxing and tinning, which we've already done the tinning. Get that clean. Those are our two motor connections. These are our two track pickup connections. Speaker. Speaker. Track. And track. Get the alcohol back out. Get those cleaned up. Okay. That's that. Put it in there backward. Now I've got a wire in the way. All right. So the back ones I don't need to lengthen. The front ones, I'm going to have to lengthen my front pickups. So we'll go ahead and trim this down just a touch. So there's my two rear pickups. Get them down in there out of the way. Motor leads. These two I'm going to have to extend just a little bit. Strip some wire here. And then I'll have to flux that up. Pieces of heat shrink. And I gotta find a piece of black wire. All right, so I've got some pieces of black wire here. And we'll go ahead and get the ends of this tinned up. That way we can get these fluxed and tinned. There's one. There's two. All right, so now don't like that. So there's one. There's that one. Now I'll cut that. Heat shrink. So there's that one. Zoom back out a little bit. Put our heat shrink on the other side. All right, now, and I know I put a couple of inches of wire on there, but only needed just a little bit. So I'll strip these off. Go ahead and flux that. And I know that looks crossed, but it's not. So there we've got our track pickups. And now I want to get my motor leads. We'll bring them over. Actually, let's see if I can't. I should have threaded this through here beforehand. Run that under the board so it won't get caught up in the flywheel. All right. Now, I'm going to cut these a little shorter. Well, at least that one anyway. My motor wires. Then we can tin and flux that, or flux and tin. Get my order right. There's one. Okay. Now I gotta get this flipped around here. So there's one. There's the second one. So now I'm going to get out the decoder, put the decoder on, see if I got my direction of travel correct. So right there, if we didn't want sound, we're ready to go. But I'll be back here in a second. Alright, I tested it out. I do have it hooked up backward. So let me pull the decoder out. And then I'll rearrange my motor leads. No big deal. All right. So there's our motor leads. I never tinned that up for the keep alive. So let's go ahead and do that now. And I'll zoom in here so where you can see, which I zoomed in too far. That one's our positive, and that one's our ground. So get out some alcohol to clean that off. There's that. Now the way I'll mount this speaker is I'll do it the same way that I did well, mount this Keep Alive, is I'll do it the same way I did in the A unit. I'm going to mount it right to the end of that speaker. So that way it'll have a place to hold or sit. Everything will be out of the way. Our wires will all be good. But first I'll get a rough guess on my wire size. Don't need a whole lot. So I can go ahead and strip these and tin them up. So there's that. There's that. So on this, black is the ground. The positive side of the is the blue and white. So there we've got our Keep Alive hooked in. We'll clean that off just a little. And I'll get some piece of double-sided tape. Knocking everything down. So there we've got our tape on. If I can keep hold of it there. So I'm going to clean the end of the speaker. And then I'll take that and mount it right to the speaker. And that'll just sit right there like that. So we have plenty of wire. Get that out of the way. Now I just need to run my speaker wire. Yep, everything right there is good. So I'm going to mount this down. That way I don't have to keep holding it. And I'm going to use a little different tape on this one. This is a double-sided 3M tape. I've had good luck with this too. This saves room if you need room. Stuff doesn't get hard. Add another piece. Cut off our extra. And there we go. We have that mounted. All right. Now, we'll zoom out. So we've got one speaker in it, and there are two systems that JT sells for these. You can get a one speaker arrangement, or you can get the two speaker arrangement. So I've got the two speaker arrangement here. We'll be able to put our front speaker in. And he includes this mounting hole, or not mounting hole, but hole to run wires up through. And I may pull mine back off the board and run them up through there. Just for a nicer look. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pull these two off. That way we won't have anything rubbing. I don't know which one's which. So this one, I'll go ahead and mount these back down before I move on, so I don't forget which side's which. There's one. There's the other. So that'll sit right there like that. All right, let me put some tape down. Clean that off a little bit. More alcohol out. There's that. Let's see something. So there's one side. There's the other side. Get some trash out of the way. Then we can go ahead and stick that down. Oop. So there we have that. All I got left to do is to wire the speakers and we'll be done. I need to tin those. No, do not use any flux on the speakers. Get some of that out of the way. So what I'll end up doing, I'll hook these up in series. Get me out some brown wire. That ought to be plenty. So what we'll end up doing, let's go ahead and strip that end, and we'll strip this end. And we'll get these tinned up. There's that one. There's that one. So now I'm going to go down to my speaker mount, or yeah, the speaker wire. That'll be one side of the speaker. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and mount the other end on my board. So now I've got one continuous loop here, but I'll cut that in half. One side I am going to go to the positive side of the speaker. So I'm going to cut that off about right there. And I want to little flux. We'll tin that. Clean that tip off. I'm going to tin this speaker. No flux. So okay, there's one side. We'll take this other lead that I've got, go to the negative side of this speaker. So we'll cut this off. Okay. Now we'll go over here to the negative side of the speaker, and I'll tin it. There's our negative side of the speaker. Now all we got to do is come we'll come across from our negative to our positive on this speaker. We'll go ahead and tin both sides of this. So there's that one. There's that one. And now I need a longer piece of wire. So I'll take and get this piece tinned up. So we'll be able to go from we'll go from that side of the speaker over to little way too long. Our negative side of the other speaker. And this installation will be complete. So, turn this around. I'll run this lengthwise or parallel with the connection there. So there is our completed shell. Put the decoder on. All right, there we are. We're completed. I'll put the body back on, and then we'll show you a side view of it. Okay, we're back. Got it completed. Got the shell on, and now we're ready to do a little test here. So we'll plug this in and go through the startup sequence. Okay, so there's our startup. I did change the horn on this. And it does have a bell. So let's kind of ramp it up here a little bit. You can hear that clickety-clack. Since there's no lights, there's really nothing to see, really. But man, that thing does sound good. So, anyway, that is our finished product. So, thanks for watching. Okay, I guess to finish this project out, the way to do that would be to show both this A and B together. So here we are, and we'll go ahead and plug in my system here. You'll go through the startup. So there's our startup. We'll start ramping this up. And there you can see our headlight class lights. So this is a really nice set of locomotives. Both of these are both equipped with Decoder Buddies from Nick's Trains. We've got our scale sound systems speakers. There's 4 speakers in this whole setup. So thanks to JT for that. We've got soundtracks, 21-pin decoders in each one of these, and TCS keep alives. So this is a really nice set, and the owners are really going to like this. So, all right, that concludes this little series. So thanks for watching.